So you want to plasti dip your vehicle. Let's get into it.
l.o.e, baby.
Basically, when I watch tutorials, I skip through it, so I'm gonna make it real fast for y'all. All you need is soap, the plasti dip, you need the jack that your car has, you need a towel, and of course you need the tire. I got plasti dip, the regular one, and then I got the glossifier. If you just get the regular one, it's gonna put on like a matte kind of finish, but if you wanted to have like a little gloss touch to it, you definitely want to get this. They got a new one now. They say that it sprays out glossy, but I didn't do that with the rest of my tires. I don't know if it looks different, so that's why I just got both again. But yeah, so you definitely want to get this if you want that gloss touch, but if you want that matte look, just get this one. So here, you basically just want to make sure that you get all the dirt and the grime up, because if you spray the plasti dip on it and it has all types of like dirt and like black stuff and like all that grease and stuff, it won't stick to the rim. You'll have like clumps or they'll start to peel early. So you want to make sure you get all that up. Somebody car alarm tweaking, but look, the tire is washed off, so you just want to dry it. Because like I said before, if you don't get all of that oil and dirt and all that stuff, like water and stuff too, off the tire, whatever you trying to spray on it is not gonna stick, bro. If you have a tire and it's like scratches like this or like marks like that and stuff like that, or like lumps, scratches like that, I don't plan on really keeping this tire for that long. I plan on getting a new rim soon, so I'm not really too worried about that. But you could easily get some sandpaper and buff all that out, make all that smooth, and it'll be straight. One, you could do it how I'm doing it now. You feel me? You could take the tire off and then spray over it. Only downside to that is that the lug nuts probably won't be the same color of the tires. Or if you spray it while it's on the car, if you ever do take the tire off, it's gonna strip it. Like, you're gonna strip the black off of it. So if you want to spray it while it's on the car, you gotta cover up the calipers and the rotor so that we don't get any paint on that. And you gotta like put a bag in there and cover all that up. And I don't really want to do all that, so that's why I'm just doing it now that it's off. After the fact, after I paint it, I might just spray the lug nuts after I paint the tire, like, so it can just all be black at the same time. You do want to shake this for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. I'm gonna do that now. You just want to. All right, so I've been shaking this shit for like 3 minutes now. The first coat, you always want it to be super light for the first coat, just so you like get some on there, nothing too crazy. Now when you spraying, you don't want to keep your hand still, because if you keep your hand still, you're gonna create a clump and it's gonna start to sag and get all have like that droopy look to it. You don't want to do that. So you want to just keep your hand moving at all times and just quick sprints like this. I'm gonna show you right now. Not too heavy, not too crazy. Just want to get something on there. The first one, for the first cycle, you don't even want to really see a color for it. You just want to kind of get something on there. When you get too close, you create lines. So you want to keep a nice distance. Keep your hand moving. They're gonna let that sit for like probably like 5 minutes, because it's a real light coat, so it don't gotta sit for too long. Like a couple minutes. These bugs is really doing it to me right now because it's wet and it's bugs. So if you're doing this, I advise you wear sweatpants. It's getting crazy, but y'all don't care about that. About 5 minutes, it's time for the second coat. This one you're gonna go a little bit heavier. Still not too heavy, but you're gonna go a little bit heavier. I use the thumb sometimes, but make sure that you don't get any paint on the front of your thumb. Like, this is bad. So I slide it back some, go like that. Came back and dabbed that up, but that's straight. Don't worry about that, you heard? Don't worry about that. See, I'm going a little faster, a little heavier, but I'm still not killing it though. You don't want to kill it. That's an easy fix though. You get some towel, dab. You want to dab it up. Just dab around there, get that spot up. Good. Right back to it. I want to make sure you hit that, because you just dabbed it. So you want to hit that. Get some paint on there. This one too. Just want to go around. I ended up putting the camera down because I had to focus and really lock in, but as you can see, the spots I touch, can't really see them no more. You kind of see that one not too crazy, but we're gonna let this coat sit for about 10 because it's way heavier than the first one, but it's still not too crazy. You don't gotta cover up the tire or nothing, because at the end you're gonna see how this whole thing just come up. Like, it's basically spray on plastic, so it'll just all come up after a while. This right here is gonna be your third coat. This one is when you go heavy. You still don't, you know, stay in one place for too long, but you get a lot of sprays in, so you wanna just like I said before, you want to just keep your hand moving. You want to keep a nice distance away from the tire so you don't get streaks and marks, but you want to keep your hand moving at all times. Don't stay in one spot. Now this right here is the fourth and last coat. This is when you get real specific, real in depth, real close and personal with it. Get all the creases. Like in here is when you will focus on this stuff, and not too much in here because like the leather's gonna cover that up, but you want to make sure this is good. You want to get all the different angles, because after this we're gonna put on the glossy stuff. So let's get straight to it. For me, it is the next morning. I had to do something last night. We about to finish it right now. I put it in the trunk, so everything in there. But let's get back to it. Also, this does leave a little, when you spray the black paint around the tire, it goes to the rim, hits the ground. So I don't advise you do this anywhere where you care about how the ground looks after. But it is the next day. We didn't put the gloss on yet. We put on our fourth coat of Plasti Dip. Now it's time to put the gloss on and put the tire back on the car. Time for the glossifier. It's the same process as the Plasti Dip. We're gonna shake it for about 2 minutes. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna get right back to y'all. It is about to rain, so you wanna hurry up and get this done, because you don't wanna do this in the rain, because it will mess up what you're doing. So it's been about 2 minutes. Let's go lay down this first coat of gloss. Same rules apply. First coat pretty light, nothing too crazy. Nah, the rain's messing it up. You see the speckles on the tire? Can't have that. So I moved it under the trees because it's about to rain. You know, same rules apply. It's a little water on the tire, so we want to get that up first. The same rules apply. First coat pretty light. So now that we're using gloss, it's not as many rules as it would be for the Plasti Dip. It's kind of just a gloss paint. This one you want to go heavier than you did with the Plasti Dip. You want to make sure you really get that gloss look on the rim. You want to just do the same movements you did before. You don't want to stay in one place. You can get a little closer, and you can move a little slower, so you really get that on there. Do the last and final coat. This one you only probably do about 3, because you get real heavy with this one. This coat you get real heavy. You really want to get that glossy look with this last coat. Now that we're gonna jack the car up, it's better that you have shoes on so you could kind of kick the lug nut off with the tool. And cause doing it with your arm, the lug nuts are on as tight as possible, so it'll probably be too hard to do it with your arm. So it's easier if you just have on some shoes. You can just kick that off. You can just unscrew the rest with your hand. Also want to make sure that your car got one of these wheel locks. When you get the lock out your trunk, it should be where all the other stuff is at, just so you can take it off. Because if you don't got this and it got a wheel lock, it's not coming off. You want to make sure all your lug nuts together, you don't lose none. Because if you lose one of these, I don't know how much replacements cost, but I don't want to find out. I'm going to get the jack, put the big side on the bottom, small side at the top. Then you want to take these, you want to get this one. You want to get this part, put it inside the part that you got the tire off with. You want to put this one inside this hole like this. So you can just turn it like that. Whenever you jack your car up, do not leave anything underneath the jack or underneath the car, like your foot, your shoes. Don't leave anything underneath the car, because if that jack fall, the car is coming down and that might pop right off. So don't leave anything underneath. You want to put on all the screws by hand before you put the car down first. You want to put it as tight as you can with your hand. You don't really want to use the tool yet because you don't want to knock the car off the jack. So you want to just put it on with your hand first, and then you use the tool once you take it off the jack. Now that we're putting the lug nuts back on, same rules apply. You kind of want to kick it on there because the tire is probably the most important thing on the car. You want to make sure that's on as tight as possible. If you don't have a tool, you're doing it with your hand, you want to really make sure that thing is on there. You don't have any time for that thing to be slipping off while you're driving or nothing. So if you want to stand on it, kick on it, make sure it's on there, make sure you do that. Did mention to y'all before how you don't have to cover up the tire because it just peel off, and as I can see now, watch it just peel that off. Yeah, like that. You know, the little stragglers, you could just take your time and pick those out, or they'll just come off eventually with time, like blowing in the wind and stuff like you drive. But they say if you do everything right, the beauty of the Plasti Dip is it's supposed to peel off your tire just like how you put it on. So let's see this now. I didn't have this on my tire for about maybe a year to change. Jeez. We are done. I'm about to put the tools up, put them back in your trunk wherever you got them from. Yeah, man, you should be good. Hey, man, thanks for tuning in. If you want to see the rest of the vlog, tune into my channel. I don't just do how-to. I'm vlogging right now. I'm about to vlog right after this is done. But watch another how-to. I'll post another one on something else. And yeah.